The FBM KLCI today closed 6.19 points or 0.44% higher as global crude oil price gains offered an impetus to Bursa Malaysia's oil and gas-related shares, propelling trading volume across the bourse to over 9 billion shares. The benchmark composite ended the day at 1,403.44 points. 9.23 billion shares, valued at 3.87 billion ringgit, were traded. Genting Group and Hibiscus Petroleum topped the most active list, while Petronas Gas and MISC were among the top gainers after oil prices jumped more than 3% today, touching more than 1-month highs amid signs that demand for crude was picking up, with China reporting increased refinery runs, rounding up a week of bullish news on the supply front. Brent crude rose by 3.9% to $32.34 a barrel, while West Texas Intermediate was up 3.3% at $28.48 a barrel. Inter-Pacific Securities Head of Research, Victor Wan, told theedgemarkets.com that higher oil prices offered impetus for Petronas stocks, though he cautioned today that everything is very fluid at this point and is dependent on how the COVID-19 pandemic pans out. Investors continue to pile into green packet, pushing the stock to a 5-year high today. The counter closed 25% higher at RM1.21, with some 133 million shares exchanging hands. This values the company at 1.12 billion ringgit. Meanwhile, its warrants rose by 1% to 46.5 sen. Last week, Green Packet launched its Kipple Live PropTech app to help get Malaysian businesses to embrace new norms to cope with the COVID-19 pandemic. The product integrates, among others, AI facial recognition, cloud-hosted services, and FR thermal scanner. 2 days ago, it also announced a partnership between its unit Kipple Pay and Tencent Cloud to offer an electronic Know Your Customer service to businesses, especially banks and financial institutions. Prior to this, Green Packet teamed up with the Coalition of Malay Small Traders Association for the Warung Digital E-Bazaar Ramadan program, which leverages the Kipple Pay e-wallet for cashless transactions. Cameron Highlands MP Ramli Muhammad Noor has been appointed the new chairman of Amanah Raya effective today. He is taking over the post from Datuk Muhammad Nasir Ali, whose tenure ended on May 10th. The lawmaker won the parliamentary seat on BN's ticket in a by-election in January last year. He has had a career in public service spanning 38 years, starting from 1980 when he served as the Port Traffic Officer at Johor Port Authority. He subsequently joined the police force in 1984, where he spent 34 years before retiring as Assistant Commissioner of Police in October 2018. According to Amanah Raya, Ramli is currently pursuing his PhD in business at the International University Malaya Wales. Among the highest academic qualifications he holds now is a Master's in Public Administration from Open University Malaysia. A lawyer and a social activist are seeking a court declaration that the one-day Dewan Rakyat sitting on Monday, which would be limited to just the address by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, is unconstitutional. Lawyer R. Kingadaran and activist D. Arumugam named Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin and Dewan Rakyat Speaker Tan Sri Muhammad Arif Muhammad Yusof as defendants in the application filed at the KL High Court today. They argue that the notice for the sitting issued through a letter is unconstitutional and violates the standing orders. This, they say, is because a proceeding that would only see the royal address does not fulfill Article 55 sub 1 of the Federal Constitution and would result in the first sitting in 2020 to be illusory, as no other urgent matters would be discussed as required under Order 14 sub 1. They also note that it is public knowledge that the opposition wants to table a motion of no confidence against Muhyiddin, and limiting the session to the royal address renders it a colourable exercise of power by the Premier and his cabinet. The Genting Group wants Miami-Dade to fund a $770 million or 3.35 billion ringgit monorail system in Florida linking the Miami mainland with South Beach. According to the Miami Herald, this would be an elevated rail system that would require about $60 million a year in payments from the public. Genting Malaysia, via its wholly owned subsidiary Resorts World Miami, undertakes the group's operations in Miami. According to the report, the details of the plan that would put a transit station next to Genting's planned waterfront casino also lay out the financial hurdles to getting it built. It added that the private group, formed by Genting and its partners, that would build and operate the 6.44-kilometer Miami Beach monorail would turn over fair revenue to Miami-Dade in exchange for yearly payments from the county of $59.4 million over 30 years. This would cover operating cost of the monorail trains and the developer's construction cost with interest and pay back the investors with profit over 3 decades.